Welcome to episode 6 of the Ringo Report. I'm your host, Brandon Ringo. There's a lot of cool stuff we're going to be talking about this week, including show announcements. We've got a show calendar, also a really cool story that I read on the internet that I really wanted to share. It shows how caring and wonderful our Arkansas music scene is. In addition to those, there's also some really cool shows happening this week in town. Tonight, in fact, at Vino's, Lung, Blast, and Big Cloud are all going to be playing. This is going to be a very cool, very heavy show, very noisy. Whereas tomorrow night at Vino's is going to be kind of the opposite. Vampire Police, Clusters of Fornication, and Zen Skull are all going to be playing, and that shows more of your like goth rock and dance, like gothic post-punk dance type music. And then on Saturday the 17th, Vino's is going to be hosting another TAC wrestling event. It's going to have recent Crash Cast guest Sleazy E on it, and all of your favorite Arkansas wrestlers, and probably some other people that you wouldn't expect. And those shows are always wild and crazy and extremely packed. So definitely check that out. Also happening that day at Grandma Lolly's Party Palace is going to be Time Well Wasted, Diet Sweets, Wait, Who's Who, and Albany. That show's going to be a more of like an alternative indie type of thing. And then on Sunday, if you like to watch people punch each other in the face, Cro-Mags, Burned Up, Bled Dry, and Little Rock Massacre are all going to be playing at Sticky's. That show is going to be absolutely crazy. It's been a while since Cro-Mags has been here, and they're like legendary hardcore. So if you've never seen them, this is like a really, really good opportunity to do so. Also, the next day, Buio Mega, Dryer Fire, Peach Blush, and Benadryl are also all going to be playing at Sour House. If you don't know where that is, message one of the bands and they'll be able to tell you. Specifically, Dryer Fire, I think, is the one putting that on. And then on that Wednesday, there's another big hardcore show happening at Vino's featuring Southpaw, Dim's Fighting Words, Mazenko, and Current Solace. That's going to be another cool show. And then happening that same day is the Zilla's tour kickoff show at Whitewater Tavern. Zilla's about to go on a really cool run up north and in a few like really cool places. And so they're going to be kicking that off with a show at Whitewater with Ultra and Stressor. And I think that show's really cool because it's 3 Little Rock bands and they're all like very, very important. And I have a feeling that show, even for a Wednesday night, is probably going to be packed. So if you like any of those bands, that is definitely something to check out. One of the bands playing this week that I want to do a specific spotlight on is Vampire Police. They're a new up-and-coming band from the Central Arkansas area, and if you're not familiar with their music, it is inspired by bands like The Birthday Massacre, Drab Majesty, Sisters of Mercy, 45 Grave, Depeche Mode, and Actors. So basically it's very dancey and post-punk and just really fun music, and it's inspired by like cheesy 80s horror movies, and their live show is just phenomenal, and it's one of those live shows that's very enthralling and enjoyable. And one of their goals for the year is to play more shows with local artists and also continue to build connections, and most importantly, they're working on getting their self-titled album out, which should be coming out in May. So definitely go check them out at Vino's if you like goth music or any of that stuff, because they're absolutely wonderful. Something else that I think is wonderful is a story that I read on Facebook recently about a band called Left to Suffer, who actually, you'll remember, played Little Rock recently back in December. They were traveling from Memphis and they ended up getting in a really bad wreck. Someone hit their van and destroyed the trailer, and they are actually currently on a big tour with Gideon and No Cure right now. So they were very much like in a lurch, and they weren't able to make it to their show in Dallas, and it was a whole thing. Thankfully, they happened to stop in Central Arkansas, home to the band's Weeping Gate and A Trader's Funeral. With a few short messages, Billy from A Trader's Funeral started working with the band to try to help them out, and he ended up enlisting Rob and Sydney from the Weeping Gate, who happened to be like, welders and have all the equipment. So with this band stranded and staying in a hotel in the area because they didn't know what else to do and they weren't able to be helped, these guys from these two local bands managed to come out, help them get everything welded, get them back on the road, and now they're back on tour and able to continue making money. And this is a huge tour for them. So I think it's very cool because, you know, these bands didn't have to go out of their way to help these guys, and, but they did. And, you know, I think that's one of the things that makes this scene so great. People doing things just to because it's the right thing to do. You know, there's a lot of kindness and a lot of really nice things about this scene. I think this story is just it makes me very, very proud to be a part of this music scene where people help each other, especially where people help out strangers that they don't even really know. And so, you know, I think it's a cool bridge that we're able to build in this community. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Be sure and check out this week's Crashcast episode featuring Ben Carey from Census. They have a show coming up very soon with Ginger Giant and some other really cool local bands. It's going to be worth checking out. And they just did a huge tour, and Ben has gotten like really, really popular on social media. And so definitely check that out. And stay tuned for next week's episode, the Ringo Report. I have a new band spotlight. Some really cool music releases are going to be dropping in the next few days that I'll be getting to, and also, of course, show announcements and whatever else I can find. I have an idea for some candy that I want to try. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming, and also I just want to say thank you to everyone watching this, because without you, this would not be possible. Check us out on Instagram. It's Instagram's Crashcast is going to be on there. Also, check out the Ringo Report on Instagram. I've been posting spotlights with local bands every day, and just as kind of a fun thing to do, just because I like asking questions. And if you're in a band and you want to be featured, just send me a message, and I would love to help. Thank you for everything, and have a wonderful day.